Hi, this is Jason from the QuickBooks team. With QuickBooks Desktop Payroll, you can track your employees' paid time off on reports, and your employees can track it on their pay stubs in QuickBooks Workforce. Let's learn how to set up and use paid time off in QuickBooks, and then take a look at how employees can track their paid time off in QuickBooks Workforce. First, select Employees. Anytime you set up a new employee, you can set up their vacation and sick time individually, but to save time, it's better to set up a default paid time off policy and then customize it for each employee as you set them up. Let's do that first. Select Edit, Preferences. Then select Payroll and Employees, and switch to Company Preferences. Select the Sick and Vacation button. Then enter your standard paid time off policy here. This will be the default for any new employee, and you can customize it for an employee as you set them up later. QuickBooks divides paid time off into two sections, sick and vacation. They both work the same way, and you don't have to use both of them. So if your business keeps track of sick and vacation time separately, fill out both sections. But if your business tracks vacation and sick leave together as paid time off, skip the sick time and just fill out vacation. Next, you choose how employees accrue more sick and vacation hours. If you select every hour on paycheck, you'll enter the hours accrued per hour paid. If you select every paycheck, they'll receive a flat amount of hours each paycheck. And last, you use beginning of year if the employee accrues a set amount of time on a yearly basis. Note that the beginning of a year doesn't have to be January 1st. You can choose any date as the beginning of the year, such as the anniversary date of their hire. You choose the beginning of year date whenever you set up a new employee or edit an existing one. If your business limits the maximum amount of accrued hours, select an option here. You enter the actual number of maximum hours whenever you set up an employee. Also, if your employee's accrued time off resets each year, check this box. Remember that you can select when the year begins for each employee as you set them up. If you do reset hours each year, you can still choose to carry over some hours from the previous year. Enter the number of hours that carry over year to year, or leave it blank if no hours carry over. Fill out the other section of the window if you offer both sick and vacation time, or leave it empty if you only offer one type of paid time off. Last, you set your company's policy for whether or not employees accrue sick and vacation time for paid time off and overtime. Select OK and OK again. Now whenever you set up a new employee, select the Payroll Info tab, and then Sick Vacation. QuickBooks fills in your default settings for the employee, but there are still some details for you to fill in for this specific employee. Enter the number of hours the employee has available now. Then enter the number of hours they've used so far this year. You can skip how the employee accrues more hours, unless you need to adjust it from your default. Select when the year begins for the employee, and when you want them to start accruing sick or vacation time. If you're setting up someone who already started accruing time, enter when that started for them. Select OK when you're done. Then in the Earnings section, select the sick and vacation items that match how you pay the employee, hourly or salary. Select OK. If you ever need to adjust an employee's time off, double-click their name. Select Payroll Info, and then Sick Vacation. Make any adjustments and select OK. Let's see what it looks like when an employee uses sick or vacation time. Run payroll like normal. If you or an employee entered their sick or vacation time on a timesheet, QuickBooks brings that time onto the paycheck. If not, you can still add it. Select their name, and in the Earnings section, enter the sick or vacation item. The paycheck lists how many hours they have available. If an employee accrues time per hour worked or per paycheck, you'll see the sick and vacation they accrued with this paycheck. Finish running payroll, and if you print paychecks or pay stubs, they can see their time spent there. There are two ways to track how much paid time off an employee has. In QuickBooks, you can select Reports, Employees and Payroll, Paid Time Off List. And if you use QuickBooks Workforce, employees can log into their Workforce account to see their available sick and vacation hours. Now you're ready to set up, use, and monitor sick and vacation time in QuickBooks Desktop.